Welcome back to All Joe Madden here on Picks and Parlays. We got a fun show for you guys today. We're playing Smash, Pass, or Player Cash, and we're talking NFL Week 15 Sunday bets. Now, in this segment here with these games that we're playing, we're going to talk the game that we're going to smash. This is the favorite best bet of these guys for their free plays. Then we're going to look at the game that they're passing on. Something just doesn't feel right with these games and it's not sitting well with them. So we're going to pass on that. And the player cash, this can be a player prop from across the board on Sunday where these guys are going to put their money. And I've got two great handicappers here from picksandparlays.net to go over these games with us. First, I'm joined by Seagraves and Dan Kaiser. We got so much to go over on this show, you guys. I'm super excited for it. But we're going to turn to you first, Steve. We're talking first the game that you want to smash. We have the matchup here between the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, look ahead line on this one. We were laying 8.5 with the Jags. It's up to 13.5 now. And we got a total of now 41.5. Steve, you're going to smash this game. How are you doing it?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jags here, laying the 13.5. Obviously, we're not getting the best of the number anymore, but I still see this as a huge smash spot for the Jags. The offense is really clicking. They've scored 25 plus points now in 6 straight games. They've won their last 2 games by 17 plus points. We got the Jets coming off a 34-10 loss against Miami, and they might be starting undrafted rookie quarterback Brady Cook in this one. It looks like Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, both missing practice. I don't think either one of them is going to play in this game. Breece Hall's questionable for the Jets. This could end up being a lot of short fields for this Jacksonville offense. It's a big number, but they're playing at home. The offense is clicking, and I'm going to go with the Jags here in the smash spot.
Okay, Steve rolling in hot here, smashing the Jacksonville Jaguars, laying the 13.5. You guys do shop those lines over at Odds Logic. I'm seeing a 13 right now at Hard Rock as well as Sports 411. So make sure you always get the best of those numbers. Dan, that brings me to you. I know you're looking at this matchup here between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. We got a total of 38.5. They're starting to lose that 39.5. And then we have a spread of 7.5 with the Chicago Bears being the favorite. How are you going to smash this one, Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to smash the under on this one. And I'm looking at it for a couple of reasons. One is the weather. Right now they're forecasting 7 degrees kickoff with the wind blowing and looking at like minus 15, minus 17 wind chills. Coming off the lake. Chicago's a miserable place to play when the wind's blowing anyway. And so I think they're going to struggle throwing the ball. But also these two quarterbacks, especially Caleb Williams, he's struggled in the first halves of the last 3 or 4 games. He misses a lot of easy passes, and it's not going to get any easier with the weather the way it is. And Shedeur Sanders has played well, but they're not putting up a ton of points with that offense. And I look at the Browns defense. The Browns defense is the only thing they got really going for them. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Williams. Myles Garrett's 3 sacks away, I think, from the record. I think there's a good chance he could get that in this game. The Bears looked all right against the Packers, but it was a second half only. I just don't like the way this offense plays consistently. And I don't think they'll be able to get the run game going against the Browns. I think this weather's just going to play havoc in the game. You're not going to see a lot of easy field goals. You won't see a lot of long field goals. So the points are going to come at a premium. So I'm going to take the under in this one.
Okay, down smashing the under between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. Again, you guys get this line before you miss the best of the number. Those 39.5 are disappearing. I'm seeing a 39 at Hard Rock, Pinnacle, as well as Sports 411. You're going to have to lay a bit of juice to that under still, but a solid way to go. As for me, you guys, I got to smash something here. I'm looking at the matchup, and this is going to be a tough one between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Battle of the AFC East, you guys, and I am going to smash The New England Patriots, home dog here. They've already handed the Bills a loss this season. It was the Bills' first loss of the season that the Patriots handed them, and I think they get it done. Again, giving them another loss. Drake, May, and company have been so sound out there for the New England Patriots, and I just can't trust the Bills defensively. Now, I know the Bills' offense with James Cook and then Josh Allen being Superman have every ability to come in here to New England and really give them a game. But I look at the Patriots. You look at this team. They've won the last 10 straight. They're coming in off a bye, and at plus 100 for that home dog price, I absolutely have to smash them. Look for a solid run game in this one, as they really do exploit the weak run defense here of the Buffalo Bills, and we see them get the win. So the New England Patriots is a complete smash for me, you guys, at plus 100. What do you think?
I'm on board, obviously, as a Patriots fan, and this is a spot where I think they hand the Bills another loss. Coming into the year, I didn't really expect this from the Patriots. I thought this would be next season, but we'll take it, and I'm with you. Hopefully the Patriots do cover this one.
Okay, so you guys, those are our smash plays. We have Steve rolling with Jacksonville, laying the points. We have Dan rolling with the under between the Browns and the Bears. I'm taking the Patriots at plus 100, a home dog. Let's get into the games that we're going to pass on here. Steve, now, Dan does have an angle for the smash between the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears, but you have an angle to pass on this game. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm going to be passing on the Bears laying the points here. Dan mentioned the weather. We're looking at a potential minus 20 wind chill in this one, and the Cleveland getting 7.5 points, it's just too much. This Cleveland defense, they're always going to keep them in games. And I also think Judkins can have some success against this Bears run defense, allowing the 6th most rushing yards per game, 3rd most yards per carry. We just saw Shadur Sanders have the best game of his short career. They lost to Tennessee. It was a close game, though, but he did throw for a ton of yards. And I think this is a spot here where it's just too many points with such a low total in this Cleveland defense. I feel like this is a great spot to pass on the Bears and grab the Browns with more than a touchdown.
Okay, I like where you're going there. Always good to grab in a low-scoring game, the dog plus the points. Dan, I know you got a pass in this game here. The LA Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. We do have the Kansas City Chiefs up to a 6-point favorite. What is happening? This is a team that normally can't cover those large spreads. This is an AFC West divisional matchup. How are you passing on this one?
Yeah, I'm passing to one. As everybody knows, the Chiefs this year, the season's over. They just haven't played well this year. I think 5 straight years of dominance has caught up with them. It's all those extra games. It's almost an extra season they've played. So I think it's just taking a toll on them. And I just can't see laying 6 with this team. Like you said, they're not covering spreads. I had the Texans last week. I thought the good chance that they would win that game outright. The Chargers are playing decent. Got lucky last week, but they're playing decent. And I can't see Philadelphia scoring a bunch of points on the Chargers defense. Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the spread, and the other reason I'm staying away is just the whole game in general but Kansas City, there's still pride. This season hasn't gone their way, but there is still some pride with that team. Mahomes has got pride. Kelsey's got pride. That defense has pride. So it would surprise me to see them step up and have one good game before the season's over. So I'm just staying away from this game in general just because there's just so many little factors that could go either way, and I'd rather find something else to bet on.
Absolutely. You don't have to bet every game, you guys. That's why we do this pass segment on games that it just doesn't look right. So great pass there, passing on the Kansas City Chiefs in a divisional matchup. The LA Chargers would like to put the nail in the coffin, but the Kansas City Chiefs definitely are fighting to still have some pride, like you said, Dan. But my pass game is definitely looking here at the matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Houston Texans. I look at this matchup, you guys, and we're seeing Houston coming off that big game versus the Kansas City Chiefs, where they won as that underdog 20-10, getting the win and putting the Kansas City Chiefs in a terrible situation. That was Sunday Night Football last week. Now they're at home taking on an Arizona Cardinals team that we know just hasn't had a great season. The Houston Texans, they're just laying too many points for me, but I can't get behind the Arizona Cardinals. I can't trust this team. The Houston Texans originally a 6.5-point favorite going into this one. There is a 10 that has popped across a couple of the books, 9.5 out there as well. And I don't want to lay double digits with the Houston Texans. For me, it would be the favorite or pass, but the favorite's laying too many points. I can't get behind Arizona. So this is a complete pass game for me, you guys. But let's get into the player cash segment. This is going to be fun. In the player cash segment, you guys, we are looking at that one player or maybe two, putting them into a parlay. This is Picks and Parlays, finding some ways to make some cash out there with a player prop. So, Steve, I'm going to go to you first. Where are you going to go with your player prop to cash?
Yeah, I'm going to go Chase Brown over 19.5 receiving yards. So he let us down last week on a rushing plus receiving prop. He only had 12 receiving yards against the Bills. But he still went over this line in 5 of his last 6 games. 2 weeks back, he caught all 7 of his targets for 33 yards against Baltimore. That was Burrow's first game back as well. Baltimore allowing the 4th most running back receiving yards with 40, just shy of 42 per game on the year. We saw Warren and Gainwell both go for 27 plus against Baltimore last week. With Burrow back behind center, I feel like this is a spot here where they're going to probably need to throw and lean on Chase Brown again through the air and him to bounce back here and go over 19.5 receiving yards.
Okay, so you're going with the player cash there. Chase Brown over 19.5 receiving yards. I love where you're going with that one. Dan, what's your player cash?
All right. Well, I'm looking at what probably is going to be one of the higher scoring games in here this weekend, the Rams and the Lions. And I've got a couple here. Basically center around Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime touchdown. So I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs, anytime touchdown. I'm going to parlay that with Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown. Stafford and Adams always seem to connect down around, in the red zone. And Detroit's secondary's banged up again for another year in a row. They're banged up. So he should have some, at least some targets in the end zone. If those two hit, that pays 130 plus 138. I'm also looking at Gibbs and Puka Nacua. Again, the same reason. Gibbs is Detroit's offense. He can either get it done through the air or on the ground. Again, Nacua against the secondary is going to cause Detroit problems. That pays like 160. And then you combine all 3 of them, and that'll pay plus 330. So I think Gibbs will score, and it's just depending on if you want to take one of the wide receivers or both of the wide receivers for LA. But this Detroit secondary is just so banged up, and unfortunately, it's another year of the defensive injuries for the Lions. So, yeah, I see a lot of points in this one. So you got to take the touchdown makers.
Yeah, you absolutely do. We got a high total in this game. Should be fantastic when we look at the Lions versus the Rams this weekend. My player that I do think is going to cash for us, you guys, I'm turning to the matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. This is going to be a hard one. Jordan Love hasn't looked great in the last couple of weeks, not putting up a lot of yards, not breaking 200 passing yards in those last couple of games, but I think he's in for a big one here. Denver's defense is so solid, and I know this should be a game where points are hard to come by, but I think we get a sneaky higher scoring game because I'm looking for Jordan Love to have a big one. I'm taking Jordan Love for my player to cash over 223.5 passing yards in this game. He's broke 3,000 passing yards on the season, has a 22-4 touchdown to interception ratio. And we know the Denver Broncos defense is so sound. This team is rolling so hot at home. Could this finally be a loss for them here at home as the Green Bay Packers roll in? It definitely could be. The Green Bay Packers are going to bring it. And if they're able to get the win, it is because Jordan Love is able to move that ball. Looking at the Denver Broncos defensively, they're only allowing an average of 89 yards on the ground. So for Jordan Love to have success, he's going to have to put it up. Now, they're still limiting opponents and those quarterbacks through the air, only allowing that 193 passing yards per game. But I do think Jordan Love has a big game. I can see some long, deep passes down the field in this one as they try to pull off the win. So my player to cash is Jordan Love over 223.5 passing yards. But you guys, that is smash, pass, or player cash here on Picks and Parlays. Let us know below the video who your players are that you think will cash, who you're going to smash, and who you're going to pass on. Also, let us know if you're rolling with any of us for our smash bets today. But you guys, we have so much for sale over on Picks and Parlays. We got the Weekend Warriors still rolling. We have the Flex Passes still rolling. Steve, I'm going to go to you first. What have you got up for sale on Picks and Parlays that people can grab?
I have my my NFL max bet for Sunday locked and loaded over at the site. I'm 10-6 with those plays so far this season. I'll also be in action with my college football play of the week. And yeah, the Weekend Warrior Pass is a great spot where you can take advantage of both those plays. And I attach all of my plays for Sunday and anything I have early for Monday Night Football. I always attach those plays to my NFL package. So you're not just getting the one max bet. You're getting all of my plays, my sides, totals, and player props as well.
Excellent. Dan, what about yourself? What do you got for sale over on picksandparlays.net for us?
Right at the moment, nothing. I got I'm finalizing my NFL card right now. It looks like it could be a busy Sunday. There's lots of stuff out there I like. So yeah, check that out. College football playoffs and bowl games are starting to pick up now. I would be picking up soon, and I've had a really good last month in college football. So check that out. And yeah, college basketball. I've been winning all season so far. I took a break from the NHL and NBA, but got back on the ice Thursday or Wednesday night with the win. So yeah, it's everything's going to start picking back up now since football is kind of slowing down a little bit.
Okay, you guys, head on over to picksandparlays.net. Don't miss out on that Weekend Warrior Pass. Again, just $49. You'll get the best bets from Steve and Dan if you pick them over there for just that one price, and you'll get their Saturday, Sunday football plays and Mondays added in for free. And those Flex Passes, 3-day up to 365-day passes. You don't have to bet every day. You can flex, you can jump in between these guys. You can set your lineups up to a week in advance, and it's our best savings of the year. So head on over, grab those flex plays. Now, for anyone that skipped ahead, we know people do it. We're going to do the recap here before we head out the door. So, Steve, I'm going to get you to recap your smash, your pass, and your player cash just quick for us. What have you got?
So I'm smashing Jacksonville, laying the 13.5. My pass is going to be on the Bears, laying the 7.5. So take the Browns plus the points. And then my player cash, we're going to go to Chase Brown over 19.5 receiving yards.
Dan, what's your smash, pass, or player cash?
Nice. Smash the Bears under. I'm passing completely on the Kansas City game. And my player cash involves Jahmyr Gibbs, parlay Jahmyr Gibbs, Devontae Adams, anytime touchdown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua, anytime touchdown. And then you can, if you want, take a little chance at plus 330, take all three of them for anytime touchdown.
Sweet. And you guys, my smash, pass, and player cash, I am smashing the New England Patriots. Home dog versus the Buffalo Bills to get the win. I am going to pass on the Houston Texans here versus the Arizona Cardinals. It's just so many points off that huge win versus the Kansas City Chiefs that I don't want to touch them, even though I think they're the right side. I just can't, though, take the Cardinals either. And then my player cash, I'm looking at Jordan Love over 223.5 13.5 passing yards in the matchup on Sunday versus the Denver Broncos. Looking for him to have to air that ball out if the Green Bay Packers want a chance to get the win. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me here. Appreciate your time on All Joe Madden on Picks and Parlays to go over your smash pass and player cash for Sunday week 15. Absolutely dominate the books, keep cash, and thanks, Steve. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.